Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you a fun way to teach your dog to follow a target stick. Now, I like to teach dogs to follow a target stick with food in the end of it, and I learned this from the amazing trainer Mary Ray. She actually sells target sticks on her website that have a cool button that opens and closes the end of the target stick, so if you have a toy, you can keep the toy inside of there and then release the toy. But if you're like me and you just like to create cheap dog training tools, you can just get a stick and tape a measuring cup to the end of it. So this is a $1 target stick, and if you have the stuff at home, you can immediately create one. Another idea is using a chuck-it stick if your dog doesn't get excited by it. So if your dog plays ball with the chuck-it stick, it might just be too exciting to use, but maybe you have another dog that doesn't like toys, and you can put food in the end of the chuck-it to use it as a target stick. Unless you're training a behavior like heel work, where the dog has to keep part of their body in contact with the target as the final behavior, I don't suggest having the dog touch the target continuously with their nose, because this is a very complex behavior, and if they're learning something simple like spinning in a circle, and then you don't want them to touch the target and spin in a circle, then you have to teach the dog to not touch the target and spin in a circle. So it makes it much easier to fade the target if you're holding the target slightly above the dog or a few inches away from the dog, rather than having them have the task of maintaining contact with the target as they're learning the behavior. If you're interested in teaching a continuous targeting behavior, I would suggest calling it a different cue and having a different target stick for the two different behaviors, so there's no confusion for the dog. The first step is teaching the dog how to receive the treat from the target stick. So I put a treat inside the target stick, and then I'm going to feed the dog the treat on the ground like this. The reason that I like to feed the dog the treat on the ground is the dog is anticipating the reinforcement coming from below, making them less likely to think to jump up and hit the target. If you don't want to feed your dog a treat on the ground, you can teach your dog to eat the treat out of the target stick like this. However, if you use kibble, it can be a little tricky, because if they bump the target stick, the kibble can go flying, so I suggest using a wet treat if you feed your dog a treat out of the target stick. It makes it a lot easier. Once your dog understands the treat delivery, you can now start teaching them to follow the target. So put a treat into the target and hold the treat quite far away from the dog, in front of them or above them, and click the moment you see your dog moving towards the target. Good. If your dog jumps, I suggest starting your dog further back. So you could put a treat down like that, and then click your dog walking towards where the target is. You might have to put a couple of treats down to get further away from your dog. Good. Awesome. Once your dog is successful at following the target without jumping or getting overexcited, you can start to add duration. I suggest moving back and forth in the room or going in a circle. Are you ready? Good. Good boy. You can also start teaching new behaviors using the target stick. Are you ready? Follow. Good boy. Spin. Good. Twirl. Awesome. Sit. Good. Down. Good. Sit. Touch. You touch it? Good boy. Good. Touch. Good. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to channel Kiko Pup. Good job.